I do not know how casters like Pig, who have done this a lot longer, do it.
Yeah, it's what like I think the difference is though that like we cast a lot of weeklies like back to back to back really frequently. Like they I think like their casts are a little bit more spaced out, so they have a little bit more time to like sink
They
it
know
all
how
in.
to
You know?
pace themselves.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. We only know Red Bulls and Hot Six, and that's all we know. Here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way
Oh
in the
my
top
God.
left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Puai Protoss, question mark? The Red Protoss player coming down from the land of China. He is, of course, representing his clan, Starlight Twinkle. He is the stealer of waifus. You better hide him. He is known now as Yuki, but known outside as ReWhite.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have our blue Zerg player. He's representing Team Starlight Twinkle as well. This time not representing a waifu, but instead
Well,
a carbot marine.
I mean, if you think about it,
Yakuzaku.
Carbot Marines kind of like waifus, yeah.
It is Hyperion.
I think my waifu is more of Carbot Cyclone.
It does have a very pretty face.
It does.
Oh.
Oh, he has a different one for each opponent.
Oh my God.
Yuki has a different spray.
He's prepared.
Yeah.
Before every lobby, because I was messaging him and he said 1 minute. You know what he did? Oh!
Oh, he has both!
Oh my
He
God.
has both!
You know what? This is what I like about Yuki. You know, I wish more players played around with their sprays, mate.
Yeah, I don't even remember which spray I have, if I'm being honest.
I've never sprayed in my entire life.
I think I have the Oli Molik spray. Yeah, I don't remember the hotkey for it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I'm liking the symbolism as well, you know, Yuki, his love, is blocking out the light.
It is. The starlight.
Ah, Twinkle.
Okay.
He's twinkling on that starlight.
I also like to imagine, because you introduced him as like the waifu hunter. Like he has like he's gonna catch them all, you know, he's just slowly collecting them one by one.
He's gonna catch Pikachu.
God.
Jesse
away.
and James.
Stay away from Carbot. Stay away.
Yeah. I don't know if we can persuade Carbot to do it. I mean, he's making animations on Final Fantasy now, so that's kind of like making waifus.
I mean, he's got commissions on Patreon. You can commission whatever you
Oh
want.
God.
Yeah.
What have people commissioned? I don't think I want to know.
I don't think he's got lewd commissions, Yaku.
Okay.
Oh, maybe he does. I don't know.
I mean,
I wouldn't put it
as far as I
past
know,
him.
there's no rule about that.
Yeah. So maybe he does.
Plus, that's where all the money's at.
True. It's true. Oh boy. So we shall see what Hyperion's response is and how familiar he is with Yuki. I imagine, especially because, like, you know, we had some poops in the chat, you know, we had some less than 3 sprays. Like, I imagine they're pretty familiar with each other. I imagine he's aware that Yuki wants to go to that late game. I imagine.
Yeah, I have to think that they're both very familiar with one another, especially with the same clan tag, right?
Yeah. Maybe.
Potentially, you know.
Potentially. Speaking of, Yuki coming out of left field, not going for a second Stargate after the first.
Okay, finally. We've been mentioning this a couple of times. You know, you can go Stargate and then transition into more of a Twilight Council gateway focus build. Finally, Yuki's pulling them out against an opponent who knows how Yuki typically likes to play PvC. He's mind gaming so hard.
Oh my God, and he's committing as well for the first time. The entire qualifier, Yuki is going for Glaive at Epps.
How many times have we mentioned it, like? How many times have we praised Yuki's adept control without glaives? Now imagine that control with glaives.
Hey, it's gonna be cracked, mate. It's gonna be insane. He's gonna pop off. It's Hyperion. He better scout and then just tap out because it's just not gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Oh my god. As so far the Void Ray is, trying to find a way in here. Has to be careful not to get surrounded by all these queens. Just dips in, scouts a little bit, I guess. He does not confirm the lair timing, so maybe a little bit overly ambitious with that initial Void Ray. But at least he's putting the fear of the Void Ray in the mind of Hyperion right now,
Yeah, he's signaling to Hyperion, I need to get a bunch of Spore Crawlers, I need to get a bunch of Queens, but he's not falling for the signals. He's still getting his Roach Warren out. He's still getting a pretty respectable amount of roaches for this stage of the game.
Yeah, and that's the big difference between Hyperion and the other Zerg players, is that he gets a Roach Warren and he actually makes roaches. It's crazy. How does he do it? Uh-oh.
I didn't even know there was a hotkey to make roaches.
Exactly, and now, oh no, the drones are turning around to fight, so 7-9 drones go down immediately. Oh god.
And here's the other stipulation, like, we had players, the other Zerg players, make the Roach Warren and not make roaches. Now we have Hyperion make roaches, but not utilize them, not have them fight the Adepts, unfortunately.
Yeah, oh my god, turning around to fight with those drones was disastrous there for Hyperion. As a result, he lost so many of them. These Adepts, they've already kind of paid for themselves, to be honest, especially because they are still alive. They're still threatening his opponent. And from here, Yuki goes into what he does best, and that is Sky Toss.
Yeah, I really thought that this would be the map where we just see Yuki completely change things up, from here, maybe go into Charged Archon or Blink Stalkers, but I guess that would have been very dependent on how much damage you get with the Adepts. 9 drones, that's quite a lot, but not enough to continue this.
Yeah,
Yuki.
Not enough to, like, I don't know, keep pulling down, putting on the pressure and applying that pressure and just going for, I don't know, like, continue all in or something like that. But yeah, there we go. The fleet beacon's on the way. Like, Yuki's just getting ready for that end game Sky Toss composition. The Adepts come in once again. They shouldn't find too much damage here. Like, we do have Roaches and Ravagers. There we go. We even see a wraparound as the Adepts are going to get shut down.
Beautiful wraparound. The Lings were dealt with, but the Roaches were able to chase every other Adept away. Meanwhile, the Void Rays. Prismatic Alignment down that Spore Crawler. He's controlling the Void Rays decently well, pulling them back when he needs to. That's a lot of Queens!
That is a lot of Queens. Plenty of energy for Transfuse. The lair stays alive, and one of the Void Rays even gets sniped.
I guess it doesn't matter how good your control is. If you don't know when to dip out, you're gonna take some losses.
You really are. Meanwhile, ooh, Spotter Pylon does find out where the entire army is, and now the Void Rays can rotate around and target down these Ravagers and Roaches.
Dodges the Biles. He's taking them out as they retreat. These are very valuable units right now for Zerg player. The Ravagers especially. Roaches, not as much. But the Biles is something that you never want to underestimate.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yuki isn't underestimating them at all.
Like, it's such an important part of, like, Roach Ravager Queen pushes. Like, Biles, you don't expect them to connect with the Void Rays, but you force the Void Rays to back off, force a lot of lost DPS, and that does impact the engagement when it happens. So, losing all your Ravagers, it will force Hyperion to remake them. A lot of lost resources. The other interesting thing is that he did go for Aspire. He went for Mutas of all things. He has to be careful not to be caught out by these Void Rays.
As none of us Zerg players really want to go into Corruptors, but I do like the Mutalist count. Or the Mutalist choice, I should say. He's got a decent count of them, and he shouldn't be making any more of them. He's just using them as a harassment tool and, a way to try to reestablish map control.
Yeah, and he's doing it right. 8 probes go down. He lost 9 drones earlier, so he is able to recoup his losses, is able to even escape with his Mutas, so he can dip back in later on.
And it's just something that's always going to be at the back of Yuki's mind. He knows, alright, I need to throw down some cannons, I need to make sure these Mutalists just don't slip into a vulnerable mineral line again, which they will, by the way, FYI.
Yeah, they dip back into the main base. Unfortunately, the cannon is not ready yet for these Mutas, and more probes are going down. At the same time, the Roach Ravager hits the 4th base a little bit too soon, so a lot of them get picked off before the Queens show up.
But the Roaches are definitely, relatively anyway, expendable compared to the Queens, compared to the Ravagers. Just making sure they all get back into position. Look at how much energy these Queens have. Transfuses for days.
Well, that's the thing. They have a lot of energy. Are we going to see those transfuses? Meanwhile, nice pile so far on the pylon. Sorry, on the shield batteries as well.
On a whole lot of stuff. Doing a good job of sorting out the army as well. Actually hurting the Void Rays into the Queens. The Queen count is standing strong. Unfortunately, Queens, they don't quite have the firing rate of Hydras, so they can't just instantly delete these interceptors.
Yeah, and unfortunately the Roaches are all gonna go down. We have Corruptors on the way. They're really gonna be the MVP here. Can they dip in time and push away these Void Rays? And they will.
They're like the Riders of Rohirrim. They came in right at the last second, but here's something about Yuki, though. He is not trigger happy at all when it comes to that battery overcharge. He's keeping his Sky Toss alive. He has not neglected his gateways either. A quick warping of Zealots is going to be enough to deal with the Queens. A couple of Zerglings trying to support that, but everything is starting to fall apart here.
Mate.
This is the bad ending of Lord of the Rings.
Yuki was so patient with that overcharge. I was about to criticize him. I'm like, yo, where's the overcharge? We have so many shield batteries and it's not coming into play. And he was waiting for the opportunity for when those Corruptors showed up, waiting for when he really needed it most. And with that, the Corruptors, they were spending the entire time trying to kill this one carrier, the one that's almost dead. And they just couldn't do it. They just couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
It was so much less DPS.
Remember, it's almost dead.
Yeah. Yes, and almost is not enough, mate. Just like that, Yuki, he holds at his 4th base. His economy is left completely untouched. He does need to remake his stack defense, to be fair, in case there is another big engagement here. But again, he has so much Sky Toss, and now he's pushing out across the map.
That he is. Splits the Void Rays away, trying to see if he can get anything done. The carriers are starting to move towards this 3rd base location. They're actually pretty exposed right now. That's a very healthy Corrupt account.
Yeah, exactly. The Voiders and the Carriers, like, I don't know what just happened there, but they were completely isolated from each other. And just like that, Hyperion was able to take advantage of that. Two Carriers go down. A lot of these Voiders go down as well in the retreat. That was a great engagement from Hyperion and a bit of a blunder there by Yuki.
And now he's back for round 2. But Stalkers be scary. Chill batteries be scarier.
They are quite scary. The scariest thing is missing, and I feel like Yuki realizes that as well. We do have the Templars. The Templar Archives is on the way here for those Archons.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the most surprising thing for me, I guess, from Yuki this entire game. He had no form of splash damage. He didn't go for a Robo Bay, or I think he has one now, but yeah, he didn't go for any Disruptors or any Storm.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but the Archives!
Exactly, it's under threat. The Templar Archives is going to go down before any High Templar are warped in, before any Archons are ready here. A massive pickoff with these Disruptors. Corruptors.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of like the Sky Disruptors. Even able to pick off a Stargate here, so they're just dipping a little bit. Or just causing a bit of a dip in the production of Yuki. The Corruptors, they stand strong. Stalkers are not quite Archons, unfortunately. They're dealing a little bit of damage to these Corruptors, but not in splashes, and he has neglected the Forge upgrades, the Gateway upgrades, understandably, for quite some time throughout this game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even if all these Corruptors died, it doesn't matter, because we have reinforcements coming in. We have Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane coming out here for Hyperion. He's ready for this. Doesn't quite have all his upgrades ready. Link Speed is still on the way. He's actually working on an Ultra Cavern as well. But Hyperion, for the first time this entire night, a Zerg player has control of the game up against Yuki.
Mate, I've been waiting all night for this.
Finally, someone made Corruptors. That's the biggest difference. Someone made some goddamn Corruptors. God damn it.
Takanashi's gonna be watching this like, so I get the Corruptors when?
So, I get Corruptors before Greater Spire?
I don't know, man.
That's crazy.
No, you don't have a lot of queens. Oh, the Banelings are gonna crash into the Zealots! Yuki's trying to micro away, and he is actually doing a good job of just distracting the Banelings. A lot of them don't get any connections, but I tell you what, these Roaches are going to be enough to completely engulf the rest of the ground army.
Exactly.
Couldn't hurt either, though.
The bailing run bys just don't stop here. The roll bys, even as the ground army pushes on forward. Oh, the Zealots, no!
The choke point on the Zealots. So unfortunate. A couple of them do survive, but the Banelings connect on the Archons, and sure, technically, Banelings aren't supposed to do too much damage against Archons. So we get a lot of Banelings, we get a lot of damage. GG, Hyperion takes game number 1. I think this is the first map, but ReWhite has dropped.
It is. It is. For the very first time today, ReWhite drops a map. Wow. Congratulations, Hyperion. Now, can he go even further in this series? Again, it's too early to like really say anything because this is a best of 5, as a reminder.
It is. So typically you would only need un momento más, pavor.
Sí.
But in this case, you need dos. Or Hyperion needs dos.
Hyperion
Yuki
does.
needs tres.
He does. This series still could go either way here. What I will say is that, again, things were still looking very good for Yuki up until he pushed out across the map with his Void Rays and Carriers when they were completely just separated from each other. It was, I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Training orders?
Yeah, like up until that point, things were looking good for Yuki.
Repulsion.
And then suddenly just...
And then they weren't.
Yeah.
That's usually how it goes, right? When you have these big army battles back and forth. Aye. But we are going to be continuing our best of 5 qualifier now. Is this like code between them? They're like, oh no, the casters might be able to speak Mandarin, so... In the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of China. He is, of course, going to be representing Starlight Twinkle. He is the waifu hunter. He is Yuki, otherwise known as ReWhite.
Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the Chinese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, the man who is fighting back for all the waifus out there, for all the otakos. It is Hyperion.
Los Otacos. Why isn't that like a clan?
He's doing it for you, Kakashi. He's doing it for you.
Doing it for you, Kakashi.
It's Hideo Takahashi. I think, is that the creator of Final Fantasy 14? No, that's Hideo Kojima.
No, Kojima did Metal Gear.
Hold on. Final Fantasy Takahashi. Why am I... Tetsuya Takahashi.
There we go. So really, playing Final Fantasy has infiltrated our brains.
Maybe.
Subliminally, he's just, I don't know, he has to play his game. But we're already playing it, so.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Question mark.
In my mind as well, these two players, like, they communicate with each other with emotes and with sprays. That's
Yeah. It's like hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. There we go.
Hieroglyphics? You just said?
It might not be graphics, but I was saying graphics because it sounds like graphics.
What are you saying?
So, is it hieroglyphics?
There's no Hylo. It's Hyro.
Wait, no, it's because it's like Helio. Because it's like Helios.
God.
Because it's like Helios, right? So it's no.
I have no words, mate. I have no words. Oh my God. Yeah. So we're getting into the game number 2. Oh God. Yeah, of course. Stargate opener once again. Shock horror. But are we gonna see? I mean, I imagine we're not gonna see a Templar. Twilight Council from here, right? It'd be crazy.
We might.
We might.
Void Ray. A single Void Ray first doesn't really indicate too much. It's just the more versatile opening in a PvZ. It's kind of like the PvT equivalent of going Blink Stalkers first. You don't have to commit, but you can if you wanted to.
It's true. Very true. We'll see where Yuki goes from here. He did go into Glaive's last game, if you recall, and things didn't end up working out for him in the end. Not necessarily because of the opener, just didn't happen to work out for him.
Yeah.
So we'll see if maybe he goes to the same.
That was another game where we went to the late game in about 15 minutes, was it? Like, I guess from the Protoss side at least.
Yeah.
Hyperion was, I mean, he was getting his hive towards the end, but wasn't really able to utilize it too much.
That just relied on pure lair tech units, didn't need any Vipers. Did have an Ultra Cavern coming out towards the end, but Ultras never really came into play there in the previous game. Didn't even need them.
Was unfortunate.
And there we go, mate. Yuki, we got +1. We got a second Stargate.
There we go. We got a forge, which is not going to be used for upgrades. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Yuki is gonna turtle it on up, as we have seen Yuki do before here on Jagannatha, and now it's on Hyperion. What is the plan here? We do have some creep spread already. Is he gonna go for that Roach Ravager Queen push that he did go for on Lightshade?
Oh, and I feel like this is a bit of an even better map for him to do so. It's because of the launch pads. Like, Lightshade has a very short rush distance, but it does have a speed zone. So you do the math.
Exactly. So it could hit faster and harder on a map like this. Meanwhile, I've got my eye on this lair that just finished up. Does he want to go into a Spire again? He does!
Right next to the lair.
Oh my
We're
god.
going to see Mutas come out even quicker this time, or are we going to see an even greater commitment to Corruptors?
That's a good question. I have to imagine this is for mutas like the previous game where you just get them to harass the mineral line. Like, honestly, it did a lot. It did so much for Hyperion in the previous game. And he could try and replicate that success. I guess he could also try and go straight into Corruptors here. I don't know how much I would like that. I mean, it could come into play.
Go straight into Corruptors and then just caustic spray down every tech building. I like it. Alright. I like this idea you're proposing, Light.
I didn't say that.
I like it as an idea.
I didn't say that.
Another very fast infestation pit.
Ooh, very interesting here from Hyperion. I'm really curious to see if this is for infestors or if he does really want to go into a much faster hive.
Well, since it's just a single Spire, I have to imagine it's not going to be hive yet, right? Because if he gets the hive, he would be looking to try to get a greater Spire, right?
Man, who?
Question mark? I don't know.
What are you on about? You casting Takanashi again? What's going on? Okay, this is unique to him, okay?
He's never left my memories. Like, I look at a PVZ and I'm still like, if only it was Takanashi.
Yeah, you're just entranced by the Takahashi.
He's still in my dreams. He's still fighting.
Dreamers, there you go. The 8 mutas are on the way, mate. 8 mutas are on the way. Once again, he's going to be looking to try and get into those mineral lines. I'm still curious as to what this infestation pit is for. Are we going to see? There it is.
Hive.
Straight into the hive.
Alright, and the queens have taken a very long excursion. It doesn't look like a dedicated queen march. He hasn't been building up his queen count. They were just sort of distracted by the void race, and now off of creep, they are ripe pickings.
That was a feels bad man moment. I mean, the mutas do get in, and they are going to be focusing down these pros, but they only get 1 so far.
Oh, but here's a very vulnerable mineral line.
There was, and he goes right past it, mate. He gets the nose.
For a cannon and a shield battery. How the void racer back? No, Hyperion.
Only 3 probes go down for 8 mutas.
See, the problem is he used his brain.
He did.
Yeah, it's like, I can't go for that natural base. There's a carrier right over there. I should try to get some damage down to third base.
Yeah, when really he should have just gone for the carrier.
Yeah, turn his brain off, you know? Sometimes that is a secret.
Exactly. Feels bad, man. I mean, I'm sure he can maybe use the mutas somewhere else, I guess. The big question for me is that hive has been done for a while, and there we go. Finally, the Vipers are on the way. Oh, he's pulling a little bit of a Takanashi on us, mate. Like, we got a lot of upgrades on the way. Like, he's working on Vipers and Infestors and Ultras.
That's the thing that's most surprising to me, I guess, is that he wants to get Vipers, but he also wants to get Infestors. It's going to be a lot for him to control.
Yeah.
He's even continuing or restarting his Queen production. That's another spellcaster. Neural Parasite can save him in an engagement, but we'll see if he can pull it off.
I'm worried that he may just die right in front of our eyes. We saw it before against Takanashi, where he's got all this tech on the way, but he doesn't have a lot of army, and now Yuki's pushing out across the map. We got Zealots, Void Rays, and Carriers. What is it to defend? Those 8 mutas and Queens.
All he needs is one Fungal plus Parabomb, and he's set.
He's not ready, though. Like, he's not ready for the Fungals and Parabombs.
He isn't, but...
Alright.
I'm getting into range.
Here we go. There's the Parabomb. There's step 1.
We were waiting for it, but yeah, unfortunately the Infestors were sniped as they were hatching. GG's called. Yuki ties up that series sideways. 1-1.
He does tie it up. GG. Unfortunately, Hyperion, he was tempted by the greed and tempted by the tech, tempted by the waifus. And it was hard. It was hard to watch, man. Like, just didn't really have much to defend, you know. Too greedy.
Really was. And he wasn't in game number 1. Guess he just thought he could get away with more on Jagannatha since it was a longer map.
Hold on, I'm trying to Google translate this.
Yeah, alright.
I think Hyperion's like,
name?
I think he's like, why would you push out?
And he's saying something along the lines of...
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's broken English coming out here. I don't. It looks like Hyperion was a little bit sad, about what just happened.
Sag,
mate. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
Oh god.
Just want to crawl in the bed. Cry my heart, child.
Oh, stop. Oh god. Oh, the red gunner guy in the chat. A Zerg 1 versus a Protoss? Oh, don't get too far ahead of yourself, buddy. Not for long.
He took one map, which in itself is an achievement, but we'll see if he's able to take another and then another beyond that. As we continue our series here on 2000 Atmospheres. LE. Some stay dry, but others feel the pain. In a chocolate rain. In the top right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of China. He is, of course, going to be representing Starlight Twinkle. He is known now as Yuki, but on the bracket as ReWhite.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the blue Zerg player, also representing Starlight Twinkle and all the otakus out there in the land of China. It is Hyperion.
I'd like to take a quick little moment and just appreciate how similar ReWhite is to ReWrite. And every time I try to say his name, my brain is like, oh, let me autocorrect that for you. Rewrite, you mean? It's like, no. Brain.
That's why we just say Yuki, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if that's why he changed his in-game name.
Because of his brain thinking it's rewrite?
Yeah, because he kept autocorrecting.
Uh-huh.
In his brain.
Sure. Sure.
I was hoping the probe would die.
Yeah, I'm surprised,
into a
right? It
corner.
was one hit away, and he didn't even run. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Feels...
they remembered to mineral walk.
So close, yet so far. The probe survives, steals some minerals, and then, throws down the spray.
Ooh, and it sprays it. Yeah, that's why it lived.
Yeah,
Couldn't go down without throwing the spray.
yeah, thank you. Thank you for leaving my probe alive. I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's the power of love that kept it alive.
Yeah. We're all friends here. We're all friends. Ugh. But, you know, we're going to be friends for much longer, especially after we see some Skytools come out. Because, mate, it is 2,000 atmospheres.
That's a mark of a good friendship, isn't it?
Is it?
If you can still be friends after you get Tempest.
Well, we're not there yet, though. So we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, especially when the Protoss player decides to finally not open up with Stargate, but a Twilight Council. This isn't even a Stargate into a Twilight Council. This is just straight up Twilight first.
Yeah, first time, but we see a Twilight first opener from Yuki, and now we have to keep an eye on a couple of things. You know, how many gateways are going to be thrown down, how many gases are going to be taken, how committed is this going to be?
Glaive? Oh. I saw the probe move.
I know.
For a second, it was gonna be a
Yeah,
dark shrine.
I saw the probe and I clicked on it. I was like, Robo? No, it was a gateway.
Yeah.
I completely know.
But
I
he does
understand.
need the, yeah, he does need that production. But yeah, no robo as you're saying, so it's not gonna go for the more dedicated warp prism route.
Yes.
He's just gonna warp in as many adepts as he can at home and then do as much as he can with them. Not scutting a Stalker or a Void Ray is a bit of a tell here for Hyperion.
It really is, and I mean, because there is no anti-air, this Overlord will dive into the main base and he will see everything. He will see the gateways, he will see the Twilight Council researching, as well as the gas count, so he should be aware of the Glaive Adepts coming his way and how uncommitted this is. Like, this isn't even 4-gate Glaive Adept, it's just 3. You know? It's chill.
But we've seen Yuki be very unchill and do a whole lot with very little adepts. Because before the roaches pop out as well, not the most threatening force of adepts, but under the hands of Yuki, I foresee a dead mineral line.
Yeah, like, this needs to be taken seriously. Thankfully, Hyperion did make a wave of Lings. These Lings, they do need to chase the shade. The Queens are already here meeting these Adepts, forcing them to shade and back off. So far, so good here for Hyperion.
Has been able to dodge the glaives, but more Adepts are rallying in. And now it's starting to be an even bigger threat.
Yeah, they're coming across the map as well to meet up with the other Adepts.
Pathing, no!
It's okay. As the Adepts are now coming in, and now enough time has passed where we have some roaches coming out. So, like, this is getting more manageable here for Hyperion as the Adepts actually commit to the shade.
Right on top of the ramp too. It is gonna get manageable eventually, but for now, these Adepts can go toe-to-toe with isolated roaches. Not sure they want to tangle with the Queens yet, though. Pulling all of these drones off of mining, and those as well. He hasn't gotten any drone damage yet, but it's a decent amount of lost mining time. Double Robo following this up as well.
Oh, and what's important is that he killed one. He almost killed a second Queen. Doesn't quite get it, and we do have a recall in the end. Hyperion losing, I think, 1 drone? Yeah, 1 drone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive here.
I mean, sure, there was some lost mining time, and sure, some Queens died, but we have plenty of Queens to replace the ones that were lost, and yeah, very, very nice hold here by Hyperion.
Yeah, I feel like Yuki got the slightly better end of that, but only slightly. Hyperion is still definitely in this game. Pretty much unhindered when it comes to his economy.
Oh yeah, definitely. And now he can finally get into his roaches, continue his Queen production, I hope, at some point, so he does have some anti-air. Oh, but maybe I'm speaking too soon, because for the first time in a long time ever, Yuki is not going double Stargate.
Oh, I appreciate this.
Oh my god.
Charge is going to be following this up, as well as Immortals and Sentries. This is not quite a Soul Train. but it's pretty dang close.
Made double Robo Immortal production. He is hard countering the Roach response to the Glaive Adepts. Ay, ay, ay. Again, they're going to make short work of those Roaches, and the Zealots are going to come in to help deal with those Lings.
Yeah, especially with 4 more gateways on the way. Surprised we haven't seen a Warp Prism yet, but suppose you don't necessarily need one so early. You're still working on things to make your push even more effective.
Yeah, exactly. First, we have our 4 Immortals. Then comes the War Prism. Once the War Prism comes out, we can see Yuki push out across the map and reinforce here. Just waiting for a couple of these, 6 gateways to finish up, and then he's about to explode.
Yeah, already started to posture on the map. Up on this ramp, away from Creep, the Observer and the Warp Prism are starting moving now. This is terrifying for Hyperion, but he does have a lot more army supply, even though they are in Roach Ravager.
He does. They need to be in position. What's important is that he needs I feel like he needs a couple more Ravagers as well to help deal with these force fields. The force fields are being thrown down and cutting up the army.
Yeah, there's some very good biles, but is it going to be enough? More force fields land. That started to be warped in. Body block for a second, but now they're starting to get right on top of the Zerg army, this Roach Ravager army, and provide all the buffer they need. What a hot pickup from Yuki. Not even taking any shield damage, these Immortals.
Yeah, exactly, but the problem is that there are only Immortals remaining. There was not enough on the ground to help protect them. The Immortals do fall. Only 2 managed to escape, and Hyperion defends beautifully.
Once again, no economic damage has been taken.
Yeah. Again, like, I was worried that he didn't have enough Ravagers to deal with the force fields, but no, they were good enough. There were a couple of moments there where, again, the force fields were maybe a little bit too bunched up, and one Bile was dealing with 2 of the force fields as well. He was being very efficient with that, had plenty of Roaches and Ravagers to just clean up that entire army, and now he is free to tech up and get into some Hydras.
Yeah, a bit of a not what you want against Charged Archon, but you know, Hyperion isn't 100% certain that's what's coming his way. For all he knows, this is still gonna eventually go into a Stargate style.
Yeah, and as we can see, like, again, the ideal composition against a ground-focused Protoss army isn't Hydras, as you were saying. It's what they go into. It's Lurkers.
That they are. But will Yuki give Hyperion enough time to go into that? We shall see.
And we do have a bit of a Zealot run by here, as it looks like one Queen will not go down. Oh my god, just barely kept alive once again.
He didn't even get transfused.
Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, Yuki's pushing out across the map with the rest of his army here. Again, because of that double Robo, the amount of Immortals that he is producing is insane, despite losing so many earlier.
He's got, what, 8 of them? And now he's producing 2 more? Let's get 10? Jeez.
It's insane. What he really needs, though, is a buffer. Like, it's what he was lacking last time. Like, Zealots and Archons, they do serve a purpose here in the Protoss army.
Yeah, the purpose to take a bunch of hits.
Yeah, it's
while the Immortals get the damage in.
You don't want to be a Zealot in a Protoss army, but like they're necessary. Feels bad, man.
You don't even get the Glorious Zealot, do you? Yeah. There's the DT of some nice little concave here from Yuki, picking off a couple of Roaches, just a little bit less of a headache by the time he pushes into Hyperion.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as the army is moving out, now the Lurkers are being morphed in, so they are so late. We need Lurkers now to defend, and they're just not ready.
That they really aren't. The Zealots are charging on forward. The Hydras and the Roaches are getting very distracted. And this is why Hydras are super vulnerable against a Protoss army. A couple of upgrades for the Lurkers did finish up. So they're at least able to burrow very, very quickly, but the range is not at all what it could be. The Archons!
Yeah.
A couple of them leave themselves super exposed. All of them are really exposed, actually.
Yeah, a little bit of miss micro there by Yuki. Every single Archon goes down as they were isolated, as you were saying, but now finally detection has shown up, and now Yuki can get on top of those Lurkers.
Get on top of them, he is charging on forward and then burrowing, hoping that the Protoss forces are distracted by the Lings, and they actually kind of are.
Oh, they kind of are, but in come the reinforcing zealots to help buffer for those things. It's so close. The Hydra's trying to push on through, but it looks like there is just too much Protoss.
I know a fun fact, Light. Yuki's upgrade for Lurker range has just finished up.
Yeah, feels bad, man. Groove Spines finishes just as the last Lurker falls. GG gets called, and Yuki takes a lead in this series.
Game number 2. Now he really only needs uno más. Por favor.
Yeah, uno más, mate. That is all he needs. GG. Well played. Also, as that game was underway, thank you so much, Maximal Craziness in the chat for the 100 bits. Thank you.
Oh.
Gracias.
Very much appreciated. Getting that tip jar, that Sunday jar.
Yeah, I need to talk to Kuro. We actually don't have the tip jar on this scene collection. Feels bad.
Unfortunate.
We'll work on it.
I wouldn't redeem a splash right now. With your channel points. That's 1,000 channel points, isn't it? Or is it 10,000?
I think it's 10. Yeah. So no splashes. No splashes. Oh.
Man, thanks a bunch for cheering us on there.
Let's just we'll see what just happened here.
Did it go offline?
Yeah, hold on.
Did Hyperion go offline?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hyperion said that he's restarting. He just went offline. I'm like, does he know that it's not a best of 3? That it's a qualifying match? Yuki's like, no. He said that he was gonna restart his PC. I'm like,
okay.
Thank God.
Well, I'm gonna have to scramble and try to find him. Drag him to a PC pong.
Yeah. I do really like how Hyperion was playing out that last game as well. The way he was taking up and how he was defending. It does feel like he was a little bit greedy when it comes to morphing in his lurkers though, because again, he didn't start lurker production until the Protoss army was already deep into creep. Like.
Yeah.
And lurkers take a while.
They really do. Not just to produce, but that's always the rule of thumb in it. When you want to get siege units out, get them as quickly as possible because they take time to get ready and be effective.
Yeah, get in position, right? Like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Plus, it didn't help that lurker range finished up very, very late.
Yeah.
I should prioritize the other upgrade, burrow speed, which I don't
Adaptive
remember the
Talents.
name of. Adaptive Talents, that's what it's called. Which I think is generally more of, if you prioritize that, it's because you want to go more aggressive.
Yes.
Am I correct there?
Yes. Because
unfortunately, you get other plans.
Yeah, I'm sure as a Terran player, you're aware that once Adaptive Talents comes in, then the lurkers, they can just like rush your army. And just like burrow on top of you.
Yeah. As a wise man once said, lurkers, they're like tanks, but with worse range. Well, it doesn't really matter if they burrow right on top of the tank, so...
It's true. They are terrifying scuttling crabs. So, yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate there for Hyperion. Hopefully, with this PC restart, he can kind of, reset his mentality as well, his brain a little bit, and make sure that this doesn't affect him too much. It looks like he was experiencing some latency. That's why he was doing that. Well, that's why he restarted.
Yeah. It would be great if we had a PC that could hook up to our brains. Every time you reset it, it's like you take a nap.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it is.
What?
You turn off your PC when you want to take a nap.
You just take a nap.
Well, yeah, but
Uh-huh.
It'd be nice if it was hooked up.
God damn it, Yaku. God damn it. As we are getting into game number 4, potentially the final game of the series, mate.
I'm surprised this isn't the Ace map. The Ace match map.
Yo, Ace match Beckett, let's go. Yo, is it happening? Is it real?
That's all it can mean. That's all it can mean.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping. For the people at home wondering, it is because map number 4 is going to be on Blackburn.
Yeah, I thought the loading would be a little quicker. I'm gonna have to leave him dry like that. But yes, we are gonna be loading into Blackburn, baby bird. LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of China. He is, of course, the waifu hunter himself, known to be a Skytoss player, but really mixing things up on 2,000 atmospheres. We're on a much more wacky map. Let's see if he switches things up even further. He is representing Starlight Twinkle, Yuki, or ReWhite.
Hands spawning in. Does he need to go to the bathroom? Is that what's
Yes.
what is happening right now? Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Chinese Zerg player, this time green, not blue, representing Team Starlight.
I misread that.
Starlight Twinkle. It is Hyperion. Oh. you know there's no reason for them to speak in English unless it's for us.
They know they're being casted.
Yeah,
they appreciate it. And they know that, you know, we always appreciate some nice smack talk.
Yeah, the smack talk going down right now. Hyperion with the "you're lucky," and then Yuki with the "I suck horribly." The bands.
So what do you mean I'm lucky? I'm yucky. Or I'm Lucky.
Luffy?
Yeah?
Fighting
One of his
dreamers.
Is that use?
Oh god.
I don't know, I never watched One Piece.
Hey, you watch Naruto and not One Piece, mate?
Yeah.
Mate.
I got the short end of the straw.
But like the short end of the straw is bleached, mate. What are you on about?
Oh, I at least was able to avoid that.
Oh god. Otakos everywhere. Molding, mate. Molding.
Look, Kuro told me not to watch it, but to just look at the swords. Because the swords are cool.
There you go. There you go. You know, Bleach is coming back, and it's black.
I never knew it was gone. I'm gonna be honest.
It ended.
I never knew it ended. I never knew it ended.
Yeah, it was the first one of them to end. It ended like in 14 or something.
Dang.
And I think they're like coming back with another season. Oh boy.
Is it like a Boruto situation?
I don't know, mate. I never watched Boruto.
Neither have I. I know it exists.
Maybe it's his kid. Who knows? But
The
we are
Sword's kid?
maybe the sword had a kid. Look, I don't know how Bleach works. Maybe the sword had a kid.
Yeah,
there's
the
a family of
swords
swords
or something.
No, true. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. They have souls.
Yeah.
Oh god. But speaking of souls and swords, we're on Blackburn. Like we were hyped about it as we were getting in, and we haven't even gone to talk about it. We're finally on one of the more unorthodox maps. One of the maps with the famed gold base.
I actually had a whole thing about what Zerg possibilities for Zerg, but then we started talking about One Piece and stuff. But yeah, you know, it is a map where you could do a lot of builds that you can't normally get away with on the other maps, and I'm not just talking about gold-based heavy styles. The one build that I really remember working very well on Blackburn and no other map in the map pool is Hydra timings.
Yeah.
Oreo showed us how well you could really utilize that, where you get +1, you get Groove Spines, and you just get a very large amount of Hydras as quickly as you can. Move them on the other side of the map, and you just hold down nothing but a Hydra production key.
Yeah, 100%. Like, ground pushes on a map like Blackburn can be so strong, but that is also why I really appreciate what Yuki's doing. Yuki is not going into double Stargate Void Ray. He did open up with the Stargate, but from here, oh my god, that is a lot of gateways. 6 gateways being thrown down. Charge is on the way. More importantly, a War Prism, mate. We're gonna be going across the map with all the charge lots.
We were talking about how effective ground pushes are for Zerg, and now Yuki's listening to that and saying, yeah, they are, aren't they? I'm gonna make them effective for Protoss as well. Oh, rip that probe.
Oh, feels bad, man. I mean, a War Prism's on the way, so we can save him, right? Right? Save it. Come back! Come back! No!
Like you're on a deserted island, you watch a helicopter fly by.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Feels a probe, man. Meanwhile, here we go. War Prisms across the map. We even have the Void Rays here to help support. There's a little bit of dead space here, so Hyperion doesn't see the army, and he's not going to see the warp in. Oh, God.
Oh, he creeped everywhere on his main except for the edge. And now the chargelets are really starting to put the hurt entirely on Hyperion.
Yeah, exactly.
The body blocking is really good, though.
Beautiful body blocking here. Beautiful whole position micro with the drones, but the Zealots is still getting on top of the Queens. The Void Rays are chipping away at the base. Roaches are coming out now, but another massive warp in, and the Queens are completely out of position. They cannot stop the War Prism.
I'm actually really liking how Yuki's utilizing these Void Rays, trying to take out the Roaches before they can really get into position, before they can really do anything about the Zealots. 11 drones finally go down.
Finally, we have a reposition with the Spore. The Spore is in position to take down the War Prism, but Yuki does respond, even avoids it with his Void Rays. The Zealots are still going uncontested. 21 drones go down. Oh my god. And it just keeps on going.
This is really just a job of the Void Race right now is to keep the Warp Prism alive. As it gets even more warp-ins, Yuki completely bypassing the ground on this map. Going straight for the charge all in. You love to see it. Well, if you're a Protoss player, you do.
Exactly. It's disgusting the way that he's been able to dance between all the Spores with the War Prism and the Void Rays. They're still alive, by the way. More Zealots are being warped in. It looks like finally they might be dealt with these Queens. Finally, everything is going to go down. But behind this...
the ground push.
Yeah, the Zealots still cleaned everything up. Oh my god.
The Spore Crawler unable to reposition. There's one Queen in position to take out the War Prism. Will it? Will it get it? It should! Ooh. But only after another warping of Zealots completes. How many drones have gone down in total this game? 43 at the cost of 37 Zealots, a Warp Prism, and 2 Void Rays. Not quite the all-in, not quite the outcome that Yuki wanted from that all-in, but good enough, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
He still has a much better economy.
And the problem is that, like, from that all-in, like, there was already a third Nexus that was thrown down, so he's prepared to transition, he's prepared to drone up, we have more Void Rays on the way, like, he is looking perfectly fine, and now Hyperion is going to be forced all-in here. Like, he's down 20 workers, he's down a base, trying to drone up from here, he's a madman, he's crazy.
He could take that gold.
Not true. Not true. If he takes the gold, if he takes both gold bases, let's go. But at least one of them. That is definitely a way to come back into this.
Absolutely is. These Void Rays, though, still patrolling around, looking to make sure that that is going to be the end. Oh, this is the end of Hyperion's mining.
Oh god, exactly.
I'm sure for Hyperion, I'm not sure if he's been able to scout on the other side of the map. I'm sure he's thinking, alright, that was very dedicated, but I lived. How ahead can my opponent really be, right?
I mean, checking his vision, he did confirm the third base, so he knows that much at least. Yeah. The Queen count just hasn't been replenished here. They don't have enough energy for transfuse. One of them did go down.
Are going down.
Yeah, I mean, the Void Rays are pushed away for now, but in comes another Void Ray. In comes that War Prison for some Zealot run by. Is like, Hyperion, he's just really struggling to survive at the moment. He kind of is. He's kind of living. But, like, Yuki's the one to take the gold first. Like, that's terrifying.
Especially when you're already behind the economy as a Zerg player. That is,
Yeah, from here we have to see something drastic, like I don't know, mutas or
I
swarm
don't think that's not the
hosts?
economy for mutas or swarm hosts, to be entirely
Yeah, it's like he has to do something crazy, maybe like a Nidus and go with his queens across the map, like some kind of all-in, maybe not just with queens, but creep, and then you throw down a bunch of spores. Speaking of spores, the spore is not enough here. It looks like the Nexus, sorry, the base will go down.
May as well be a Nexus at this point. Because that's how far ahead Yuki is.
He really is, Hyperion. He's down to 2 bases, and you may be wondering, why is he still here? Why is he still fighting? Why? Well, because if he loses this game, he is out of the qualifier. It's done, mate.
He has to come back on Friday.
No one wants
That's
that.
a long way away.
Yeah. And we're not going to be
He'd
there.
much rather prefer... Yeah, he'd much rather prefer to enjoy his Friday night, I'm sure.
Exactly. And it clashes with OCE, you know, and everyone wants to tune into OCE.
Even the Chinese players want to tune into OCE. Exactly.
Oh, God.
Yuki, he'll have the option to do that if he wins right now.
He will, and that's
And
exactly...
you know he will if he wins here.
You know he will
tune in.
Just like everyone watching right now should tune in. Meanwhile, the Voiders are coming in. Oh, they do get a kill on not just the Spore, but the Hatchery as well. Ay.
And not just the Hatchery, but the Gold Hatchery. The only ticket Hyperion really had of coming back in this game. Sure, he's closing the gap on the worker count, but he's still insanely far behind.
That he is. Ah, God. I mean, okay, this is it. This is the Hail Mary play. This is what we've all been waiting for this. Infestors. Infestors are going to be how he gets into this.
Is it?
Spellcasters, mate, get like a solid fungal with some bios, and this
Right.
like Void Ray Cloud will evaporate. He'll still die to the Chargels and the Archons, but the Void Rays.
You're very optimistic.
The Void Rays, mate, they're gone.
You have a lot of hope, Light. And even then, you have a lot of hopium, and even then, you're like, yeah, no, he's still gonna die to the Chargels and Sentinel of Immortals.
It's copium, mate. It's
Yeah.
copium. Alright, here...
Is it copium at this point?
Mate, Yuki, he's maxed out, mate. 200 supply, essentially, at this point. The Infestors are not ready! The one way for him to get back into this, they're not ready yet, Yaku!
Even I can't copium my way out of this. Some bios land on the Zealots? Question mark.
They do. You're not wrong. They do. Yo, more bios land on some of the Void Rays as well.
Yeah, they got roughed up a little.
Yeah.
The third base is down, but, you know.
Third base is down. The fourth base is going to go down as well. Everything outside the natural of Hyperion is dead, mate.
And with it, so are the chances of Hyperion in this qualifying match.
He's going to try what he can.
But the Infestors are borrowed! There's no observer here, is there?
There is. The Infestor just
is.
died.
Oh,
The Infestor just died, Yaku. God. GG.
is called. Yuki takes another waifu and qualifies for the close qualifiers. Well played.
GG. Well played, Yuki. Does take the entire series there in a nice fashion as well. I do appreciate that we didn't just see more of the same. We didn't just see more different variations on Stargate play, on Void Rays. Like, he definitely mixed it up in this series.
Yeah. Especially on Blackburn. He had the opportunity to mix things up multiple times, and he went for it. Every single time.
Every time. So GG, well played. Congratulations, ReWhite, aka Yuki, on taking the entire series, on qualifying for the DreamHack China closed qualifier.
Yeah. Don't have to worry too much. As a reminder, this is a bit of a special region for the qualifiers because we do have an additional slot in the open qualifiers. I believe there's going to be a wild card at the end of Friday's qualifying spot, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
There's going to be a third place match. So both qualifying both qualifying matches are going to play out, and then the loser of each one goes up against each other for the final qualifying match.
And I believe that will be on Friday. I mean, yeah, it makes a bit more sense to have it in a later qualifier than in this one.
It does. So Yeah, our condolences to Hyperion. We're big fans of him. We've casted him many, many times, and he put up a very good fight here. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to take on someone of the likes of ReWhite. But as you were saying, he will have another chance on Friday.
Speaking of another chance, we may be able to get into another qualifying match here. So just trying to be updated on the score of Dragon versus Daydreamer.
Oh, true. Either they haven't finished or they just didn't update their score.
Yeah, or they finished and they just, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it could be in the middle of it. You know?
They could.
Wait, that's what you meant by they haven't finished. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
English is, you know, a language. It's no hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics.
Shaking my head, yeah. Shake my head. Oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, again, congratulations to ReWhite. For those wondering what we were on about towards the end of that game, talking about Friday, unfortunately, due to the DreamHack schedule, day 2 of the Chinese qualifiers and day 1 of the Oceania qualifiers, they actually clash with each other. Unfortunately, they are overlapping and they do kind of cross. So because of that, we cannot cover both of them. We've tried in the past, but unfortunately, like the Oceania qualifier is a qualifier that does tend to go a little bit longer.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we have to switch the accounts, get to the Chinese server. By the time all is said and done, we get to cast maybe one game of one qualifying match, and then it's done.
Yeah. I mean, it's always one of those things where maybe, especially if the Oceania qualifier ends a little bit early, maybe we can sneak in and maybe cover the last qualifying match for China, but it's a big maybe. Don't hold us to it. It's not confirmed that we can pull that off.
A big oof.
Yeah. So unfortunately, on Friday we will be prioritizing the Oceania qualifier. Regardless, I hope everyone had a good time here for the first Chinese qualifier. I know it was a lot of fun.
Definitely was. Next seal.
I was gonna say, despite Steel, it was a lot of fun. Despite Steel, and I don't know. I honestly wasn't listening to what you were saying about Steel. Like, it's just. It's not worth the brain space.
Like Terran is like a car. It's like driving a car. You gotta replace your engine every time you want to go faster.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head.
Well, I guess that's true of every car. So.
With that, our next broadcast is going to be in quite a number of hours. Let me just quickly double check here. It is going to be in 7 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh,
yes,
less faster than yesterday.
Yeah, it is going to be earlier than DreamHack North America. That is DreamHack Latin America. I will be casting that potentially with Cristiano. Cristiano does, he does need to get back to me. So potentially, we'll see.
Also, I want to point out that yesterday, after the Taiwan Hong Kong broadcast, I said, I might wake up early. I might be able to jump in at a certain point, and then I woke up at noon. So.
God damn it, Yaku. God damn it.
You're welcome. Thanks, Melty.
For
covering that
instead. I mean, I had no faith that you were going to wake up in time. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And you have no faith I'll wake up tomorrow either.
Exactly.
That's at all,
I mean, I do have plans for tomorrow's cast. I either cast with Cristiano. I also am open to casting with Dastan as well. I know that Dastan is going to be playing in the qualifier, but if he does get knocked out, then I'll be happy to have him on as well. It's always great to cast with the Chilean pros whenever I can.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of fun.
Good old Desafiantes team. No, they were called something.
El Prisma, mate. El Prisma.
El Prisma podcast. That's the name of it. Not Desafiantes.
That's a tournament. That's a tournament that we sponsor.
No, look, Desafiantes is the El Prisma tournament, though.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's La Espira tournament.
What?
God damn it.
No, La Espira is something else entirely.
Thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate the support. If you
get checked into a home pretty soon.
if you enjoyed, yeah, you're gonna be able to write your hieroglyphics, mate.
Hieroglyphics, yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. If you want to tune into more, we just said that we are going to be live twice a day, every single day for the next week, sometimes even 3 times a day, with plenty of DreamHack qualifiers, the open ones and the closed ones. Mate, desafiantes.
That's true. That's a Wednesday.
There we go. It's on Wednesday. Thankfully, it's on Wednesday. Oh god. But yeah, Yaku, mate, where can people find more? I know you're gonna be streaming. I know. But if you did stream, if you were to stream, where would that be?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, Twitter.com @EmporeYakuzaku, !! Discord in the chat. We'll also announce that. Buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light? Where can we find you when you're not streaming?
What?
Or the place where you won't be streaming. Where can we... I didn't think before.
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. You can follow me there. I do stream occasionally throughout the week. Just like Yaku, I won't be streaming this week just because we're so busy with DreamHack, and I'm typically trying to like power nap in between broadcasts. So I'm not, completely dead.
Red Bulls.
Yeah, I don't have to rely on Red Bulls with power naps, so it's fine. But yeah, because of that, we're probably not going to be streaming anytime soon. Our personal streams, I mean. But later on, in a week or 2, we will have, like, of course, our typical ladder sessions, some Final Fantasy 14 if you're into that, maybe some Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dojo.
Some Dojo, maybe, some Dojo. So yeah, consider following us there on our own personal streams. But more importantly, follow us on the CranKy Ducklings here on this Twitch channel, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias when you want to be notified for when we go live. And we also have our YouTube channel where we upload VODs daily from all of our casts. So if you maybe want to tune in, but we're live at the wrong time or not at the ideal time for you, then you can check out our YouTube channel where all our VODs are, or here on Twitch as well, where we also save our VODs. And Yaku, they can also... They have been all highlighted. And if you want to go one step further, you can also support us as well on Twitch or Patreon.
In the chat. I did it again. I didn't think.
What is wrong?
Like,
did you just? You're like, oh, he's about to kill me. He's about to kill me. Maturino. I know. That's what I do. It's the Maturino.
Yaku. That's exactly what happened. I heard you can support the channel. I'm like, exhibition with Maturino.
Oh my god, Yaku.
What happened? That's what my instinct brings me.
God damn it! You've been conditioned. You've been conditioned to say Maturino whenever you can. Oh god.
I anticipate it now.
God damn it. Patreon, not Maturino in the chat.
That's the other word.
To support us, if you so wish. We do run our own tournaments and we have our own pro team. So all the money that we make on Twitch and on Patreon goes all towards that, to some more StarCraft events. Oh boy, if you're wondering, a lot of our players are already going to be in DreamHack. Patty Mac in DreamHack North America, he's already invited to the closed qualifiers. Same with Eric, of course, our Brazilian duckling. Ryu, Neo, of course, Oreo, and Starduck is invited as well. So like all of our ducklings, they're going to be performing well today. Well this week, I should say, in DreamHack, and be sure to be here to cheer them on.
They're kind of a big deal.
They're
kind of good, you know?
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Eric came second in DreamHack Summer Latin America. Just saying. He beat Kelazur and Cham. Just saying. Happened.
Oreo's gonna be the ANZ champion.
Yes.
The ANZ champion.
Starduck beat Mio Micah.
Starduck,
just saying.
Yeah, him and Starduck are gonna go back and forth in those finals.
There you go.
This season.
All duckling finals. Yeah. Ryu and Eric have both been like taking turns winning all the weeklies recently as well. They just back to back. They're
gonna be the finalists of this season of DreamHack Latin America. Sorry, Special and Cham.
Yeah, sorry, Neo.
Both of you playing in Korea. Look, Neo is busy saving us from lawsuits.
He
he deserves a break, you know.
He does. He does. And as we do head off, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Oh god, Boba Son.
I read that as Boba Sauce. Yeah, Boba Soon.
Boba sauce. What is that? What is that? Are those like the black pearls
really
in bubble tea?
Boba is the black pearls, but like there are some places here where they put like caramelized, where they put like melted sugar on top of that, and it's terrible, and it sinks to the bottom. It's terrible. It's so sweet.
Doesn't that mean that once you're done with the drink, you just have bobas and like syrup at the bottom, and like it just
ideally you'd finish it all at the same time, but you know. It's so dense, you can never really do it. I mean, have you ever finished boba and the milk tea at the same time? No, it's either you consciously eat too much boba, or you just drink all the milk and then you're left with boba.
It's true. It's like you're bobbing for apples. Like when you have boba like bubble tea, like you need to intentionally get them, otherwise you will be left with nothing but boba at the bottom.
You can't just leave your straw at one position.
No, you can't. You gotta
exactly.
You gotta hunt them down.
You gotta poke it down.
Just like the waifus, mate. Just gotta hunt them down.
Well, I was gonna say or tear a hole in the lid and just slurp it.
Oh, no, then you're an animal. Nah, you're an animal, mate. You're an animal. Who does that? That's crazy. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We appreciate the support. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. I hope you enjoy your ducklings. And the follows.
We'll see you in 7 hours, or Light will.
Quacked. Ciao.
Bam.